How's it going, everyone? Welcome to PT Topic, and the topic for today is my DO tour experience. To start things off, my name is Patrick Liu. I'm an incoming student physical therapist at the University of Maryland Eastern Shore. And please hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and click that notification bell, and leave a comment below throughout the video. So what exactly is the DO Tour? The DO Tour is a content and contest platform for skateboarders, snowboarders, and skiers. They typically host a summer DO Tour and a winter DO Tour. Where the summer DO Tour is for skateboarders and the winter DO Tour for the snowboarders and skiers. I worked in the summer DO Tour where it happened to be the first US Olympic qualifier for skateboarding since the Tokyo 2021 Olympics recently added skateboarding. Typically, for these larger events, they contract with other organizations. The medical organization they partnered with was WMI Global. WMI Global provides risk management, safety, emergency and sports medical, and rescue services for athletic competitions. They have worked with the past winter and summer DO Tours, the Nitro Circus, and beach volleyball events. Now, y'all may be wondering, how did I get involved with the DO Tour? It was due to being the pre-healthcare club president at Weber State University, and one of my professors in the athletic therapy program, Dr. Donahue, sent out an email so that I could forward it to the pre-healthcare club members. Of course, I jumped on that opportunity because working my first Olympic qualifier prior to PT school, I thought once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, gotta do it. And afterwards, I applied for the position, met up with Dr. Donahue, had an interview, and I was able to earn the position, got briefed on what it entailed, and moved on from there. Now, what position did I work? It was the medical administration position. So I was in charge of checking for any weather updates that may impede the event, and boy, we had a lot of rain delays, so I was really busy in that aspect. And talking with patients, interacting with them, helping with the check-in process, and anything that the healthcare providers needed help with, whether that would be some help with documentation or cleaning up the tables that the patients used, and a lot more. The healthcare professionals that I collaborated with at this event were medical doctors, physicians, athletic trainers, an EMT, physical therapist, and chiropractors. It was awesome to see how all of us worked as a kind of this fluid mosaic. So an example of this could be when an athlete is riding either on the street course or the park course. I'll leave some pictures above to show you what they look like. They lost their balance and fell on the course. And let's say they fell on an outstretched hand, whoosh for short, and they exhibit some signs of a shoulder injury. So the athletic trainers and the paramedics or the EMT that's on the site would get down to see what exactly is going on and whether or not the athlete needs to be extricated out. And let's say that for their shoulder and everything, they kind of deem it as, okay, we don't think that this athlete should kind of continue, so we should kind of help them out of the course and such. So once they're out of the course, the athlete then has some options to either get seen by their physician, or if they have a physician, physiotherapist, and we'll explain a little bit more of what a physiotherapist means later in this video. And if they determine that they need some additional help, then they could kind of utilize our resources with WMI Global and our current chiropractors, athletic trainers, and medical doctors and physical therapists on site to see if they need a further evaluation and such. And let's say that this hypothetical athlete decided that they wanted some additional help. They would then be helped to our medical area, and this medical area, what we used was a kind of this trailer. They come over there and get further assessed, and the medical doctors on site, they kind of do that further evaluation. They find out, oh, this athlete, they have an anterior shoulder dislocation. So with the medical doctors on site, they could help relocate that shoulder. And once that's relocated, then let's say like the athletic trainer or the sports specialist chiropractors, they could provide some bracing and taping to help give that extra stability for that shoulder. And it just kind of shows that sometimes it's better to have multiple types of professions on site to help that patient out. And that got me thinking, well, that's also the similar thing for the healthcare field in general. Like, per se, if an athlete or patient presents with a problem, something that's out of our comfort zone or something that we didn't really practice, then it would be wise to refer them to someone else who has more training or practice in that specified field. So, for example, let's say an athlete comes in and they would like some manual manipulation. So the first question is, okay, well, how do you define manual manipulation? And in other countries, manual manipulation could mean a chiropractic adjustment. It could mean some massage therapy, some help with stretching. It has varying terms. So it's important to talk with the athlete to see, okay, what type of treatment are you looking for, and go from there. Another key thing that I learned from this opportunity was the importance of building rapport with the patient. And if there are any communication barriers or cultural barriers, it's important to be patient with that process so that we can understand what that patient wants and needs. For example, the patients that we worked with, specifically those who were out of the country, they use the term physiotherapist. And the physiotherapists, they have the capabilities of performing, and of course, this is speaking from my limited view, and I still have a lot to learn about this. A physiotherapist has the opportunity to perform chiropractic adjustments, prescribe medications, perform physical therapy, and a whole lot more. Whereas in the US, chiropractors, out of our group of medical professionals, they're the only ones who can provide a chiropractic adjustment. And then athletic trainers and the sports certified chiropractors, they may be more comfortable providing taping to help the patient feel more stable. So being able to sit down, even using Google Translate, to build trust with that patient, it'll allow them to share more information of what they're feeling. And if we can kind of figure out, okay, well, what are they feeling? Okay, if they're feeling this, this could be a potential issue that's going on. And explaining them in terms that the athlete would understand, that'd be the best way to help them like build that trust between patient and provider so that they are going to be more compliant with whatever treatment that the healthcare provider is going to prescribe to them, whether that is physical therapy, performing a chiropractic adjustment, prescribing medications, and letting them know, hey, you could visit this pharmacy to receive this medication, and more. It was a humbling experience because I thought, okay, I'm excited to learn all these opportunities in physical therapy school and how we could all work in this team dynamic, as well as understanding that sometimes not all of us will get this opportunity, and being very fortunate that I had this. So essentially the key takeaways of working in this DO tour that I could share with y'all is that every healthcare provider has different strengths to bring to the field. It's important to understand what our scope of practices are, and if something starts to deviate from it, we got to make sure to refer them to the specialist who's in charge of that. For example, let's say a physical therapist is treating a patient and they find out that the patient is exhibiting some signs of like a ringworm infection. It'd be important to say, okay, this isn't my scope of practice. I should refer them to see a physician so that the physician could then prescribe them any type of medications. The physician can report back to the physical therapist saying, hey, these patients are on these types of medications. Please be wary of having them use certain modalities or certain treatments. And that communication between the healthcare professionals can help best serve that patient. Building that trust with that patient to truly understand, okay, what's going on, and it'll help allow us to understand, okay, this patient is facing these types of obstacles and barriers. Let's double check and confirm that's true. And building that trust with them could allow that patient to share more information of what's going on with them to the provider so that they could better formulate a plan of how to help treat them. I'm just putting a lot of hypotheticals out there because I have yet to learn about all this material. All right, thank you all so much for tuning in for this video, and it was a little bit hard to film this one because I've been busy with my other obligations of helping my family out and with preparing my move to Maryland and then getting started for physical therapy school. So with that being said, thank you all for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next video.